Damn, Ron, that's not fair. What's up, chat? How we doing? What up, Fish? What up, Big League Stew? Doing all right today? What's up, Justin Sports? Dang lazy mofos. Nate Rojas in the chat. John Nate says, you helped me double my money yesterday. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. I did not double my money yesterday. Weird night. We'll talk about that. What up, Byron's Journey? Like as you come in, I appreciate that, man. Danielle Mia Moore. Are you and Shady got those issues ironed out? What up, Sean? Josh, Lincoln Hawk. Look at the Your Nation. Lorenzo, you're already missed the bomb detector. Baseball so far away, but it'll be back. Yeah, it'll be back, man. Here, let's go. First NBA stream. This is your first NBA stream? Come on, man. Hey, Doranzo in the chat. What up, Mongo? Lenny. What up, Lenny? He made it happen. Y'all are rolling, bro. How are you guys doing on this Thursday afternoon? We've got basketball tonight. We got one game of football. And we got plenty of opportunity to make some money on Fanduel, on DraftKings, on PrizePicks, on Yahoo, wherever you get down. Some of you guys are really diving into this, into the sports books, man. Shout out to you guys. Every night I'm seeing some crazy parlay. What up, Desmond? Brody? East Coast, the best coast. Let's go. I saved money last night by not playing. Last night was I lost half, and here's what happened was when Porzingis got ruled out, I late swapped into 60% Jalen Brunson, big brain moves, but during the process of the late swap, that gave me more Rashawn Holmes and more Steph Curry, so it was kind of a negative play at the end of the day. Curry didn't do well. That game went below my expectations. Now the Warriors, statistically the best defense in all of basketball. Rashawn Holmes was on pace to being a good play, got ejected. So it was a whole lot of let's go home. Let's go home. Fish fan with the $4.99 super chat. I am this close, guys. This close to putting text to speech on the donos, but damn run exists. So it's scary. It is really scary. But that might give you guys a little bit more incentive. 4.99. That'll get me 2 bangs, bro. 2 bangs. Oh, gotta sneeze. Oh, I'm trying to hold it. Oh, Miles Bridges has been nuts. He has been nuts. Man, what's up, Pinstripe Pimp? Yo, you guys are rolling right now. Unbelievable. Last night, if you played last night, Nikola Jokic led the entire slate in DraftKings fantasy points, almost 61. Got himself into 35 minutes of action, 34 real points, 11 boards, 5 assists, 2 steals. And then number 2, Miles Turner. Again, I feel like he either kills your lineups or wins the slate. 25 points, 13 boards. He hit 7 threes and had 3 blocks to boot. Number 3, Miles Bridges, 32 real points. Jarrett Allen with 55.75. A lot of us went towards the Evan Mobley side of that front court. And Allen's the guy who went rebound nuts with 17 of them, 24 real points, 40 minutes of action for Jarrett Allen. Huge from him. And then PG, Luka, the regulars, right? Jalen Brunson was good to some of my lines, but yeah, what are you gonna do? What up, Scott Duran? What up, Encore? G Yali, E Money, Westbrook, AD. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about some of these ins and outs. I'll tell you what though, I'm gonna have 2 guests today. The other day during the nightmare technical difficulty stream, Shady, I was acting. Shady was on. He didn't really get his due diligence. We're gonna bring Shady back. He's trying to grow into discussing DFS. And then our boy Quinn, rich homie Quinn. He's picking up the kids, right? He's bringing the kids home from school. Then he's going to hop on. It's only 5 games tonight, so we get the vibe out a little bit, slow it down a little bit, talk a little bit more strategy, and really digest some of this news. One of the things I hated about yesterday and really the day before is the end of the stream. I couldn't field a bunch of questions, man. I had to get into the Discord and get those obligations underway. But today feels like we'll have a little bit more time. Usually I ain't got time, but I got time today. I want to deny some of his comments. Yeah, like to say you're... Oh, no. Chronic's in the... Chronic out there in Cali doing the Lord's work last night. I'm not going to do it. What up, Kickstart? Cade Cunningham's a bust tonight. You think so? I'm curious to see how the field reacts to that. We'll definitely have a good Cade Cunningham discussion. I think spoiler. I think he's gonna be better than he has been. I think they're gonna encourage him to shoot through it, but we'll see, right? Bringing the kids home from school. I did that before stream. God dang it! I can't. Shady stream. Yeah, Shady's here, and like I said, Quinn's gonna be around, so check that out. Quinn's definitely been a regular in the chat. It'd be nice to get a couple of cameos here and there from just regulars, right? I'm seeing some other friends in the industry kind of doing that too. Where you get some pros, you get some vets in there, and then you bring in some casuals, the loyal ones, right? You can't just have brand new guys jumping in here, but it'll be interesting to get different points of views, especially from guys that have been around for quite some time, right? Shooting better than 0 for 99 isn't hard. It isn't, right? And I think we all expect that to not continue. Got plenty of Cade Cunningham tokens before that. I'm off the train. It's the slot machine, brother. I'll tell you what. Let's. You guys want to bring Shady on? We'll go over some of the news here in a little bit, but let's see if we can get Shady in here. I will need to. I don't know if Quinn added me on Discord yet. Hopefully, no, he hasn't. So, all right, it might get weird. We're gonna do it on the air. F it. Budget. All right, I'm gonna start the call with Shady here. We'll bring him here, and then a little bit. Hopefully, we can get the 3 live crew ready with Quinn, and we'll talk some process. Start voice call with Shady. He'll be on the video. We'll pop that sucker up. Yeah, can you hear me? The Mighty Quinn. What's up, dope heathen? Same people off K to the same people playing Justin Fields. Come on, buddy.
Hey, what's up, Gun?
Here,
What's up, everybody?
there we go. All right, you're not on the air yet, but you're about
Oh,
to be. You're
oh,
about to be. Yeah, yep. New headset, new me, bro. All
I
right.
hate this headset.
It's a must. All right, let's get the cover. Wait, are you on the screen? No. Okay. Let me get the. Let's go window capture. Drag it out. It's called the Rod Cam, but it's not. All right, bam. Now you're on the air. Shady, of course. If you guys didn't catch the introduction on the other stream where the beginning of it doesn't exist anymore, Shady has been man, he's been around the Run DFS community when it was Camp DFS and beyond. He is an active member of the military and recently celebrated 20 years in the Air Force. So hype in the chat for that. But he, in his free time, plays every bit of DFS you can think of, not just NBA, not just NFL, but obscure stuff, golf, MMA, and then a couple weeks ago he won 20K playing soccer. I didn't even know prize pools got down like that. So shout out to Shady. Was on the other day. I was like, "Hey, bro, you got a headset?" He's like, "No, but I go get one." So he went and got one. So extra hype for him getting a headset. What's up, man? You doing all right? How's the Arizona?
It's going good. It's going good. Not too hot, not too cold, and yeah, just enjoying life, man. That's all that matters.
It is. So tonight, chat talking about a smaller 5 game slate. Shady, do me a favor, move your mic just a little bit away from your mouth. I think it'll be all right, but I can hear you breathe, and and I'm live. I don't want weird things to happen. Um, that was dumb. Tonight. The biggest news: LeBron James is out. It sounds like he's gonna miss extended time, at least 1 week, dealing with an abdominal injury. Also, Daniel Tice was rolled out. That was so fresh that I didn't even get to update my spreadsheet. So we're gonna kind of move the wires live later when we get to that game. Donovan Mitchell's questionable. Anthony Davis probable. John Collins questionable. DeAndre Ayton questionable. Lou Dort questionable. Royce O'Neal questionable. And Furkan Korkmaz questionable. Didn't see anything about Embiid. I know we had some speculation earlier and last night about maybe him chilling out on night 2, but it doesn't look like there's anything out there to back that up other than some intuition. So, well, I guess we'll keep an eye on that, but I think he's all right. RIP live from the camp. Good times, right? A lot of love for Shady. Shady, everyone says thank you. We do appreciate your service.
Oh, thank you all. I appreciate the love.
Let's see. I had this small black dot on my monitor screen. I thought Shady had a mean mole. It was in the perfect spot. Furky from Turkey, yes sir. We have Shady twice. Yeah, Shady twice, and then like I said, hopefully in a little bit we can get Quinn in here, and that's hopefully gonna go well because even with Shady, we didn't really get to we didn't do a whole lot of testing before live. Actually, I flipped a switch and I had Danielle get with Shady on trying to test that stuff. So hopefully Quinn doesn't have a lot of live technical difficulties. But if so, it's a little smaller slate today. We can iron through it. It says Jenna says Gunn has taught me a new language. I never knew what "you're" meant. And Chip in a Chair and several others I learned watching him during season on Osmo. Quite enjoyable. You got to keep the language different, right? You gotta speak high, you gotta speak low, you gotta speed it up, slow it down. It's all you gotta keep the attention, and then of course getting people to stick for stuff to stick, right? Get rid of the nerdy jargon and kind of flavor it up, right? Gunny's on the screen twice. Oh, how's he on the screen twice? Um. Oh yeah, he is on the screen. Whoops. All right, maybe that's why I'm losing frames. There we go. I didn't realize, yo, Shady, I had you on twice. You were blocking the new Gundecker, the Gundecker gaming logo.
Hey man,
It's all right. Chat, let's get a
that's,
plug out the way. Um, RunDFS.com. You know how we roll. If you guys are wanting to get access to any of my spreadsheets, my projections, we got football tonight as well. Go to RunDFS.com. Get yourself signed up. As of last week, our partnership and our site integration with Fantasy Cruncher is live, so you guys can get a little extra utility out of your RunDFS.com memberships. If you, for instance, just get a week pass, you actually get a $5 voucher to go towards a Fantasy Cruncher subscription, and then if you don't use it, it actually stacks up. So if you grab a couple of week passes between now and whenever, they'll actually stack up for you, so you can get even more discount on Cruncher. I definitely recommend using an optimizer as a slick way to manage multiple lineups, and I have moved towards Cruncher lately in the last half year, and I've really enjoyed my time since using it. It has helped me hit a couple of tournaments, take down a couple showdown slates, and take down a couple second half showdown slates. The one in particular that stands out to me was the Panthers showdown slate where CMC got injured in the first half, and I was like, dude, I bet people don't play Chuba Hubbard, and people maybe even play some CMC, and that's exactly what happened, and it binked it. So I don't know that any other optimizer out there is supporting second half in-game showdown slates, but Cruncher is, and they also support tiers and stuff like that. So some of the more obscure contest types that you guys maybe don't even play as is, man, this will make your process a little bit more efficient, and the ease of playing multiple lineups more accessible. So go check that out, and double the bang for your buck here. Not only did we discount some of these VIP prices, but we added credits to Cruncher. It's huge, and I am excited about that partnership. And if you guys do get Cruncher, I'm not going to expect you to know it right away. Hit me up in the Discord, say, "Go, how do I do this? How do I do that?" And I'll walk you through it, right? What's up? Craig L says, raw points aside, these studs have not been good points per dollar this year, with a few exceptions. From a former service member, thank you, Shady, for your commitment to a military career. Man, much love. Google Hangouts was so chaotic. Normally I would say yes, MLB was tough this year with labs. Yeah, I don't want to say nothing on the air, but let's just say I've definitely turned a tide in terms of momentum and where my preference has been. Shady, you excited for some LeBron James free basketball tonight?
yeah. I mean, like, it seems like whenever LeBron's out, like it's eventful. I that's what I call it, because you got the whole world that's gonna basically like wait until the end of the night now,
Yeah.
to see their lines cast. Basically, I mean, it's pretty much what you go. That's what you're going to do, especially if you're going to pay 10-7 and 10-3 for AD and Westbrook. So
Yeah, this morning I saw Alex tweet about how the Lakers had 3 players over 10K, and how that like never happens, especially on a condensed slate. And it's almost a good thing it happened, because now I'm not. So I still think there's going to be massive ownership on Westbrook, and maybe some to AD as well. But at least DraftKings is going to make you think about it. Like Craig was saying, a 10.7K, what do you need on a 5-game slate? Whereas if they slipped through there and Westbrook was 9K again, there's no thinking about it. You just jam that in there. I still think 10.7K, we're just going to fire it off on a small slate. But shout out to DK for overpricing the big 3 here, because this time last night, we probably not playing any single one of them, at least not with any level of confidence, other than some tournament shots. And tonight, we might be keying in on them as borderline core play. So, anyway, the Sixers, chat. Did anything else come out about the Sixers? Was Isaiah Joe had entered health and safety protocols. This guy was on the bench last night, right? So there was probably some contact tracing that needs to be done, and I saw that looked like they were beginning that process. So I didn't see any confirmation, affirmations, or anything else other than that. So if you guys see some stuff drop on Twitter, let me know, because that stuff could snowball into something quickly. And because it is a back-to-back, because you got to assume everyone had close contact, we could have anything from a skeleton crew Sixers to even a game cancellation. So something to keep in the back of your mind. You know, what's up, pocket quarterback? Lamar Jackson, Westbrook triple-double. Westbrook holds some grudges at the end of that last game. Westbrook did get offended by who was it that had that pick six dunk at the in garbage time, and Westbrook was like, he was a little salty about it, even though I'm sure Westbrook's done stuff like that himself. You might,
I can't even think of it right now.
Yeah, you know the clip though, right? Yeah, somebody and he got salty about it, so he might hold that one a little personal and might try to run up the score. Sounds nuts, but Bron should run with the second unit clear. Okay. I can't read the rest of what. Clear some room for Russ and AD. Make that second unit way better, bro.
Oh boy.
I can feel Braun truthers everywhere losing their mind.
Dude, that is the first. That's probably the first person I've seen ever say something like that.
It was Darius Baisley that did that. So you might, I mean, that could go a couple ways. You might see a early tech between the two, but yeah, you know Westbrook's going to keep that in mind when he's out there. And right now, the Lakers were, I think, 10-point favorites. So we'll see if that holds up and turns into something it's not. But let's tentatively talk about the Philadelphia 76ers at the Detroit Pistons. First game on the docket. Projected starting five for the Sixers: Tyrese Maxey, Seth Curry, Matisse Thybulle, Furkan Korkmaz, and Joel Embiid taking on Killian Hayes, Cade Cunningham, Sadiq Bey, Jeremy Grant, and Isaiah Stewart. We got 208 total. 5-point spread in favor of the visiting Sixers. Sixers, night two of a back-to-back, battled the Chicago Bulls down to the wire last night. And as I said earlier, Isaiah Joe ruled out for health and safety protocols. They're already without Tobias Harris, Danny Green. So at best, they were going to kind of come into this game shorter staff with a higher predictive value in minutes for most of the Sixers rotation, depending on the potential fallout from the Isaiah Joe situation. We do have some questions here. I think Joel Embiid at 10.5K on DraftKings probably not going to pick up a ton of ownership with the Westbrook and AD being within a couple $100 more. And I saw some poo-pooing on Embiid earlier today, and we know that he said after the first game he couldn't walk. The box score eye test, seems to be just fine for Embiid. Last night he stuffed the stat sheet, was plus 10, plus 11, something like that. Helped them bring home that dub. Let me see if I can get to Philly. There it is. But the team itself only scored 103. It was kind of a low-scoring, grinded game. 18 real points for Embiid, 6 for 18, 9 boards, 7 assists, a block, a steal, plus 10. So, like, if you're not watching the game, like, you feel like he's been just fine, super efficient. But there's this bad taste in a lot of fantasy players' mouths about his point production, his fantasy point production, and that's completely justifiable. So I could see a world where people are down on him, people doubt his minutes on night two of back-to-back, and people just want to spend that 10+ K on a Westbrook, on an Anthony Davis, and guys that are coming up. So it makes me think that maybe Embiid inversely is going to have a low ownership, and on these smaller condensed slates, I still keep in my mind, hey, 50, 60, 70 fantasy points, not out of the realm of possibility for a guy like Embiid. So in tournaments, I'm already kind of gravitating towards getting to maybe 20% of Embiid if I feel like that could double the field. And I think right now it feels like the field's pretty sour. Seth Curry, Tyrese Maxey are guys that also kind of stand out here. Shake Milton last night was confirmed to not be on a minutes restriction. And then Gorgeous Niang. I played him. It was a slow sweat last night, but this is 2 games in a row without Tobias Harris on a per minute basis. He has been extremely efficient. His Fanduel price today is very nice. On DK, I still think he's very playable. We kind of bring the ceiling expectation down for the entire slate, right? The 11 games, I was looking to try to make those 400-point lineups. On the 5 gamers, I can live with the 350, 370 median projection. But 32 minutes against Chicago, 31 minutes against Portland, double-digit shot attempts, and from a fantasy perspective, he's been great. I think his price point today is going to make him a core value play for me on FanDuel at 3,700, $200 above min price, but he's still right there in the pool for me on DraftKings. It is the Detroit Pistons. Their defensive rating is below average. Their offensive rating is offensive. So I think we can target the Sixers with somewhat confidence, assuming that we get enough. We get no problems, is what I'm saying. No fallout from the Isaiah Joe situation. I think Seth Curry is the guy that stands out to me as a potential 30-plus fantasy point guy in this matchup. One thing that people maybe don't give him credit for is, he can bring the ball down the court. It's not just Maxey. It's not just Milton. He can himself bring the ball down the court, and he'll also probably contribute 20-plus real points if the game's competitive, thinking about what this team's missing without Tobias Harris. So I do like Seth Curry as a stocking stuffer, back-to-back 30-plus fantasy point games, under 6K. Sign me up for some of that. Looking at the Detroit Pistons, Cade Cunningham is going to be a topic of discussion throughout many of the DFS chats throughout the day. If you have sweated Cade Cunningham in his first 2 games on DraftKings, he has been extremely low priced, 3,600 on both slates, and did not produce anything worth having. And not only that, he was extremely high owned, 40, 50, 60% owned, depending on the contest you played. But if you are a believer in projecting progression, positive regression, whatever you might call it, double-digit shot attempts at 4K for your first round overall pick, you got to expect them to want him to shoot through it, and you got to expect him to still be out there taking the shot. So I'm willing to have a goldfish memory here. I'm very curious to see where the field lands on him in terms of level of confidence or lack of confidence in playing him. But I just can't see myself believing that Cunningham is not the guy they're trying to make a franchise player after spending, the first pick on him. So I think at 4K, I'm still going to be pretty bullish at getting to him. Will it burn me? Maybe. But I think 4K is still a little bit too cheap. And the other line that's really killing me is in some of these sports books, like and PrizePicks, his point total is 10.5 to 9.5, depending on when you look. And I'm just like, man, double-digit shot attempts for that seems like a bet I'm willing to take. Other Pistons that kind of stand out here, Jeremy Grant's been that dude for the Pistons when he does play. Sadiq Bey, I don't mind getting to a piece of that. And then Kelly Olynyk, I don't mind a piece of that. But I think overall the Pistons are going to be low priority plays for me, outside of maybe getting a little aggressive with Cade Cunningham on DraftKings, just because I still think there's meat on the bone at that price point. Shady, I'm going to throw it to you in just a second. I'm going to get caught up on chat because there's a lot going on in chat. First of all, Brian says it's a Tyrese Maxey birthday game. Where is Sen at with the fire? Fish Fan says, you pick the number of likes and I will donate a week pass like Damron did yesterday. Ooh, chat, that's bold. And we're already at 41 likes. Man, I did 100 yesterday because I knew we would do good numbers on an 11-game slate. But we did get to 120. So is 100 likes fair, chat? I think 100 likes is fair for $20 from Fish Fan. So we'll do 20. We'll do 100 likes. So 100 likes today on this video. We'll do another drawing for RunDFS.com a week pass, and that'll also include NFL tonight. I'm just, Daniel's trying to give away my with no LeBron. We just stack an AD Russ, couple on the other side to count the cash. That seems like the basic approach here, right? GS Luke, what's up, Luke? Embiid scores 1.91 fantasy points per minute without Harrison Simmons on the floor. Yeah, I think per minute, Embiid's been just fine. Even yesterday, outperforming his fantasy his minutes. The thing is, when we play Embiid, we expect the 60, we expect the 70 in these spots, and he hasn't gotten that at this price point. I understand the hesitation from the community. Maybe I'm a sucker, but I love me some Embiid, especially if I'm gonna get him a decent ownership where I don't have to give up a ton of equity to say I have him, right? What up, Crispy? Liking the over 26.5 on PrizePicks on Seth Curry, just waiting on confirmation of them playing. Is that the fantasy points? That would be the fantasy points, right? Not the real points. Yep. Necreasy says Embiid is now questionable. So that was something we were discussing last night. It is a back-to-back. You feel like you wouldn't need Embiid in this spot. And then Andre the Giant Drummond becomes a play. Not a play, the play. Shady, midday questionables. I usually prepare for them to be out. There's already some chaos going on in the Sixers locker room. I'm gonna throw it to you, man. What are you digging now? And if Joel Embiid is out, are you lock buttoning Andre Drummond?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really a locking person or anything like that, but like I will be definitely over the field. Um, which the other day to be over the field, you pretty much had to be at 100% in some contests. I know you showed. I think one of your contests was like 64% or something like that.
65.8.
65, yeah, something like that. But yeah, I mean, if if he's out, I mean, it's Andre Drummond against like his old team,
I'm
so it
coming
adds to the.
home.
Yeah, I mean, you could just see him like really putting out work to try to really put it to the man. So, uh,
I said it the other day when he was 4-4. I said literal lock button for me 100%. Today, if you come into this game knowing there's no Tobias, there's no Embiid, obviously no Simmons, Danny Green's not an impact and a ripple effect. If Andre Drummond's 9K in this situation, I'm probably still playing a big chunk of them. 6,500 on
yeah.
DK, 58 on FanDuel. That's a lock button territory for me, and I mean that literal 100% exposure for me. What else you got, Shady?
Uh, Yeah, so I mean the rest of the guys on the rest of so what what really like it boggles my mind sometimes how like Fanduel and DK do it. Like Matisse, Stivell, and freaking Georges Yang are literally like almost vice versa. And it's literally because Matisse Stivell is like he's just a stocks guy. So, on FanDuel, pretty much. So, like, it's funny how his price, like, they really get it right sometimes when they actually switch the prices like that. It's just so weird to me. But I actually I like Shake Milton again. Like, I've been playing him. I'm kind of playing Shake, kind of like the like how people have been playing Cade Cunningham, just hoping for more minutes and more production. It seems like he's been pretty efficient in the amount of time that he's been playing on the floor. And as far as Detroit is concerned, I mean, Cade is just he's just been really inefficient. But for like how many shots he's putting up, how what his expected production could be, I think 4K is fine. But also another good tournament play though would be to go down to like Killian Hayes, um, for to like 1v1 Cade and Killian Hayes. And even though Killian Hayes hasn't really put up like major numbers, you're just getting a benefit from the actual field because one I'm seeing one right now is in the 40 percentile and the other one is in like the 6th percentile. So I think as a tournament play, Killian Hayes is probably somebody that you can go to versus Cade lineups.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Yeah, there's definitely a world where Killian can outscore Cade Cunningham. I'm just a sucker for Cunningham to kind of pay off at this price at that draft stock. But the Shake Milton thing, man. It came out yesterday that he's not on a minutes restriction, but then they're suggesting he's not in game shape yet. So he literally plays the same amount of minutes against Chicago that he played on a minutes restriction that a lot of us didn't even know was applied. 20 minutes against Portland, 19 against Atlanta. So Doc Rivers is gonna Doc Rivers. Shake your off restriction, buddy. We're gonna give you 20. And he's like, whatever. All right, that's my one day. I'll do a full Doc stream. I don't know. Shake. I hate Shake Milton after last night. Yeah, Shake Milton. I don't disagree with the viability of Shake Milton though. He's also cheap, right there at that $4K $3,900 price point as potential spin the wheel, make a deal, guys, and then even more responsibility here with the potential looming news of Joel Embiid. The Detroit Pistons are not good. You get access to an entire Sixers team pending Isaiah Joe fallout at under 6K. It does feel like the basic approach right now is going to go get Russell Westbrook, probably Anthony Davis, full stack Sixers, and make some money. So do with that as you may, but I can't push back at any of these price points. Really do feel like Seth Curry should be more expensive in this spot. You mentioned Matisse Thybulle. His stocks are great. And then Furkan Korkmaz has been really efficient per minute, and then so has Gorgeous Nang. So I'll definitely be extremely exposed to the Sixers. A lot of times on medium to bigger slates, I go into my how many players per team based on my rankings. A lot of times my default is I don't want more than 2 guys from a team. Sometimes if I really like a team spot, I'll put 3. I could see myself having 4 Sixers in lineups tonight. So I'll be wrestling with what to govern there. It'll definitely be up to 3, but there might be a shot where I allow up to 4, you know? K. Johnson, that's a fire pick. Plus this man just dropped 30 on them a few days ago. Now you have no Embiid, Harris, Green. Give me that. Doc's voice needs a minute restriction. Relax. I'm a man of many imitations. Utah Jazz at the Atlanta Hawks. The projected starting 5 for the Jazz: Mike Conley, Donovan Mitchell, Bojan Bogdanovic, Royce O'Neal, and Rudy Gobert. Not Rudy Gay, DraftKings, up against Trae Young. Bogdanovic, DeAndre Hunter, who went ballistic last night. John Collins and Clint Capella. We got 220.5 total. The visiting Utah Jazz favored by 2. Last night, DraftKings listed Rudy Gobert out, and I thought, oh my God, Hassan Whiteside? Yes, sir. But it was actually Rudy Gay, and they got their wires crossed up. Decent total to attack here. The Utah Jazz, I'll be more willing to grab some guys against them when they're on the road. It is the Hawks on a back-to-back. Not anyone specifically stands out as something that's going to get to a tier 2, tier 1 for me, but I think you could justify some tier 3 exposure to maybe a Trae Young. We're going to have plenty of extra money, and maybe a DeAndre Hunter. I'm going to keep an eye on the Hawks news and notes because on a back-to-back this early in the season with a couple guys who had lingering Q tags yesterday, like a John Collins, maybe they opt to rest some guys. But as of right now, I've got pretty much everybody probable. Looks like John Collins is officially questionable with a left foot strain here. So if it's a back-to-back and they opt to err on the side of caution, this might open up maybe like a Danilo Gallinari at 3,800, something like that. But right now it's just speculation here, Sid, because it's the same that's the same designation he had yesterday and he played. But just the fact that it's a back-to-back would maybe make that a little bit more intriguing. And then now, if we're thinking ahead and we perhaps project Embiid out because of a midday Q, because of the back-to-back, for me personally, I'm going to have one center spot spoken for with Andre Drummond. So the other, if I get to another center, it's going to be in the util spot. Rudy Gobert deserves discussion here. 8,200 on Fanduel, 8,600 on DraftKings. A huge rebound number of guys going against a traditional stock. They still have him listed out, guys.
Unreal.
I wonder if that gets some newer players out of here. So if you're watching here, Rudy Gobert is not out. He has this giant out designation on DraftKings, and even they updated the blurb. It says Gobert's not on the injury report. So I wonder if they don't fix that and it scares some people off going into the slate. But Gobert's a guy that can get you near 20 rebounds, fill in the stat sheet with a couple blocks and steals, and maybe get some dunks to boot. Definitely 40 plus fantasy points is well within the range of outcomes. At 8,600, I'll take that 40 plus on a little bit more of a condensed slate like this one. So I'll have some exposure to him, but it wouldn't be as bullish as maybe it would have been 10 minutes ago when I didn't know the status of Joel Embiid, because I'm going to full send Andre Drummond if that opens up. And then Donovan Mitchell, 8K on Fanduel, 9,400 on DraftKings, $1,400 discrepancy. Definitely going to make him a little bit more viable for me on Fanduel versus DK. I don't know that I get to none on DK, but I definitely feel like I'm less likely to get to him on DK versus that Fanduel number. Fanduel, I'm looking for the north side of 40 fantasy points that they can get there for me. Mike Conley at 5,200. I don't hate that price, but at a similar price point, not too far from it, I can go get Kyle Lowry, and he's been just fine. So there's plenty of ways to go at each price point on FanDuel right now, looking at what's on the table. Shady, do you have any strong leans in this game? It looks like it's one of our better totals to attack, but I don't feel like I'm getting a massive bargain on the DK pricing. I do see some holes on the FanDuel pricing. Even Trae Young at 8,600 on FanDuel, that's $1,300 cheaper than the 99 on DK. I feel like this game feels more like I'm going to get more exposure to this game on FanDuel than DK, but did you have any pre-flop leans?
As it is right now, probably not. I, I, I so I want to like Rudy, and like, do I think that he's going to do fine? Yeah, I think he's going to do fine, but like, I almost want to save myself for like somebody like Bam or somebody like Wood. That's kind of where I'm going tonight.
Mm-hmm.
With as far as if I was playing two centers, utility and center, and of course Drummond would be the guy in the other spot, just like you said. So that as far as people and players, I don't really have like a really big I don't, this game just
Infatuation.
isn't really a choice for me for what I want to play.
Yeah, on DK, that's how I feel. Some rebound notes here. Atlanta Hawks have the third best offensive rebound rate in basketball thus far, and then a top 10 amount of our top 10 in defensive rebound percentage. Now, maybe John Collins' potential absence could remove the floor from those numbers, but from a 20 rebound Gobert game, definitely not as easy of a matchup as maybe some of the previous matchups for him. So maybe even more pushback. And Gobert, of course, not a guy that's likely to shoot 10 plus shots. He's just out there getting peripherals. He'll clean up the glass when he can, but usually going to take single digit shot attempts. I said that yesterday about Jared Allen, and he went out there and broke the slate with rebounds in minutes. So I'm gonna get to some Gobert, but you mentioned Adebayo, you mentioned Christian Wood in the mix as well. Definitely will not be tier one in Gobert or any other center not named Andre Drummond. Let me get caught up on chat. Josh says they're gonna change the Gobert designation if enough people mention it. Yeah. What up, Greek Inc. says there's good chalk and then there's absolutely great chalk. Drummond should be 100% owned. So when I attack the DraftKings lobby, I get to every price point. The other night, the first Drummond night, in contests that were like the $15, Drummond was well over 80% owned. In the $4, it was like 78% for me, and then in the $1, it was 65% owned. If you think about the average rake in a contest, it's what? Between 14 and 16% if you're lucky. If there's a 16% difference in ownership from the $1 to the $4, you're essentially getting rake-free contest if you believe that Drummond is the best play by going to that $1. So might be something to think about. Maybe now that we put it out there, we're all going to go down there and just eat from each other. But it's not just for Drummond. That's just if you look at lineup databases like Fantasy Cruncher has the I believe a tool that you can look at ownerships from contest to contest. That's just the way it works. The higher tier has a sharper plays, the higher ownerships on the good plays, and as you get down, it starts to trickle, and then it really is filed down in the micro stakes because it's not sharp cat. It's not 120 plus of the sharpest cats on YouTube in those contests like you. So yeah, maybe something to think about if you want to get some of that rake free action. By the way, 125, 128 concurrent viewers. If we get to 100 likes again, Fish fan in the chat said he will sponsor a week pass giveaway. That'll be 3 days in a row we give away a week pass if we hit our thumbs up goal of 100. All you got to do is hit that thumbs up, and then you got to make sure you're subscribed, because when we start the contest, you got to type the keyword in the chat to for the Streamlabs bot to do the giveaway. I haven't heard from Quinn yet, so hopefully maybe there's traffic or something. If we can't get him on today, I'll try and squeeze him in within the next week or so. Hopefully, right? Just wait till Gun gives me. Yo, Damron is wildin'. If Damron goes, I'm going with him. Gun says we. Yeah.
I think another thing too with like contests. A lot of the people that play both like higher stakes, and they still have the ability to play lower stakes, they're gonna make a lot more uncomfortable decisions on those lower stakes because of ownership and stuff like that. So like you're gonna run into those people that, oh well, yeah, they have that person 100% in the higher stakes, but they're just going to play the field in like the $4 and the $1. The people that actually can actually play those. So that's what I see on a regular basis. But like I said, don't worry. I personally wouldn't worry about that stuff if you're playing in those contests. Just play the best plays, and that's it.
Yeah, same. And I'm more likely to hit that lock button on some of those lesser. But I have a video that hasn't come out yet. It's half recorded. I was trying to finish it with one of the binks, but ironically, I haven't been binking this specific contest that I'm trying to promote. I've hit a couple other contests, but not this one specifically. So I might just like upload it. I don't know, kind of dull the finish here, but essentially. The community guidelines on DraftKings keeps the sharks out of those $1 and those under $5 contests if the price was under 25K. So that's another reason why you're getting 15, 16 to 18% differences between ownerships on the best plays. So look out for that. If I don't bink this contest in the next couple days, I'll just throw it up next week, right? Let's move on to the next game here. Miami Heat hosting the Boston Celtics. Project starting 5 for the Celtics. Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford. In the Time Lord, Robert Williams taking on Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson, the cover boy, Jimmy G buckets. And if you didn't know, Shady, the G stands for gets. He gets buckets. PJ Tucker, Bam Adebayo, 214s our total, 7-point spread in favor of the Miami Heat. Look out for maybe some wishy-washy news on the Celtics. They're also on night 2 of a back-to-back. We've seen some speculation on maybe Horford getting some rest on night 2 of a back-to-back. Again, hearsay right now, but he is an elder statesman of the league, and his potential absence could open up an avenue for maybe extended minutes for Williams, deeper front court minutes for Jason Tatum. Grant Williams would get into the mix. No matter what, the matchup is not what you want pre-flop. The Miami Heat are a top 2 defense right now when it comes to defensive efficiency. Maybe they saw what the Warriors did last night, holding the Hornets without like a field goal for like 10 minutes. They have the number 2 defensive rating in all of basketball, 99 points per 100 possessions. The more things change, the more things stay the same. I don't love the matchup specifically for any one particular player. Maybe we get surprised here if there was a Horford scratch, but no matter which way you slice it, it's already kind of an uphill battle for these guys to hit at these price points. And I'd be more on the Heat side. Somewhere out there, Dameron just clipped me saying more on, and he's going to cut out a little gap and it says, I'll be more on. And then I just did the work for him. So, the defensive efficiency for the Celtics has not been as historically linear for the Celtics this season. If you look at the defensive rating tab and you see Miami number 2, well, you got to go pretty far down there to get to Boston. 110.8 points per 100 possessions. That's bottom 6 in all of the leagues. So good spot for the Heat pre-flop, bad spot for the Heat, for the Celtics pre-flop. I do like the Heat on both sides. I think the Jimmy Butler price on DK, 9,600. He's a guy that's been throwing us a shot at 50 fantasy points just about every game. Bam Adebayo at 8,100. The rebound rates for the Celtics are horrendous. 20.3% offensive rebound rate, 75.8% defensive rebound rate. So good spot for a guy like Bam Adebayo to go out there and meet or exceed his average of nearly 14 rebounds a game, 20 plus real points per game. And Kyle Lowry, 5,900 on Fanduel. Let's have a conversation.
Insane.
That's pretty cheap. Kyle Lowry at 59 essentially needs what, 30 plus to feel like you got a good price, a good deal. I got him at 39 Fanduel points right now. So I definitely feel like Kyle Lowry is somebody that's going to be in the mix for me yet again. I felt like he was too cheap his last time out, and we didn't really move the needle on his price, did we? 40 fantasy points, 38 in his last 2 games. Yeah, you can give me some Kyle Lowry. Sure, I'll vibe with that. And then if you wanted to dig a little bit deeper, Tyler Hero, 6th man of the year, 6,400 on FanDuel, 6.7K on DraftKings. He'll enter my player pool. Shady, like I said, I'm more on the Heat side here. Are you interested in any of the Celtics here? Or are you kind of vibing with me on the Heat only?
I think so. If I was just taking a team, yeah, the Heat guys would definitely be like Bam, Jimmy. I mean, I don't play FanDuel, so I don't really care for Lowry at 7,700. But that's just me. But like, I almost kind of consider this a game stackable type of thing. I mean, you just take a lot of your ownership and you play. Let's just say you play 20 lineups. Take like 3 of them and make this a game stack. It just seems like a game like this, the possibility of overtime, it just. I think it's going to be I think it's going to be a lot more competitive than Vegas. Than Vegas is basically saying right now. I really do.
Yeah, Celtics had some turmoil before yesterday. Some Marcus Smart media comments about teammates not passing the ball. Then yesterday they had a pre-game players-only meeting to kind of get things right. And then they, of course, will themselves to victory. But they're playing the Orlando Magic, the worst defense in all of basketball, one of the worst offenses in basketball. So I feel like that could be fool's gold. It could be, I don't know. I don't know what to think of this Celtics team right now. I do feel like they have a problem with scoring past Brown and Tatum, and they haven't been uber efficient themselves. You got 2 players averaging over 20 plus real points per game, and your third best player from an offensive standpoint is like Al Horford, maybe Dennis Schroeder. I don't know how successful that formula is going to be going forward. I definitely think they need to space the floor out a little bit more, and Miami will test them. So I agree with the sentiment, though. Like, if you think this is one of those low public perception games, and I think right now It's easy to see a lot of people going straight to the Sixers and then getting to the Lakers, and even running back some thunder with the Lakers, because I think they're going to be a much less put them down type of team tonight without LeBron. This game gets lost in the sauce, so you don't have to give up a ton of equity to maybe get to a contrarian game stack here. We know the Heat will their official pace rating 98.8. When you watch them, it feels like Lowry. It feels like they're pushing the pace more than the ratings give them credit for. Maybe that's to do with a lot of fourth quarter blowout minutes that just kind of slow things down. But yeah, maybe Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum stick with it here. And at 8.9K, 9.8K individually, I do think 40 to 50 fantasy points is in the range of outcomes. I've wrestled with being enamored with Celtics players this season. One of the things that I do when I do introduce a Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum into my pool, if I don't agree or if I don't love their prices from a ceiling coexistence standpoint, I tend to set a rule to not to have both in the same lineup. But if you were going to specifically game stack here, I probably wouldn't make that happen here. Let's get caught up on chat here. John says Kyle Lowry on Fanduel. Absolutely. He made it happen. Bam it and slam it tonight. Keeping with that 40-point streak rolling. Yes, sir. Lock me in for Bam. All right. A lot of Bam love today. Cade Johnson says it was stated that Boston's the worst rebounding team in the league. Give me all the Bams. Absolutely. Absolutely. Still like Horford. Just keep an eye on Horford. Like I said, there's at least reasonable suspicion or skepticism to suggest that maybe he could be a rest candidate, but I haven't seen like an official source say that. But the same people that were thinking about Embiid potentially being out, or the same people that are thinking about Horford, right? Back to back, things get a little different. What up, Quinn? Yo, Quinn, we almost done. You still want on? Or what's up? Get out. I think their third best scorer is Jabari, just defensive liability. Yeah, I meant like in the rotation. Man, there was a night not too long ago where Jabari was getting some run, but I think that was pre-Horford. I wonder if he would be super sneaky in 100K to first if Horford did end up going out, right? Quinn is in. Let's go. Do you tell good jokes or are you? Wow. The chat. Yo, chat, you want that free week pass? Hit that thumbs up. Do it. Quinn. I guess I should message Quinn on Discord. You still want on. Send. While we do that, chat, let's take a pause for the cause and talk about PrizePicks.com. If you guys are looking to further diversify your daily spend, reward the research you're already doing, especially on a FanDuel basis, check out PrizePicks.com. Download the app on your iPhone, your Android. Use the desktop version. You guys can bet against projections. You don't have to put together full lineups like you do on FanDuel and DraftKings. You don't have to battle guys with 100, 150 robot-made lineups with top-of-the-line projections with late swap ability. You just have to pick something you like and sweat it. You can have as little as 2 picks per a card, up to 5. You can do power play. That'll 10x your buy-in, or you can do flex play. That'll soften the blow, kind of round robin it if you end up missing one, right? It's very, very fun. I'm scared to use the word addicting because addicting in our world is kind of a negative connotation, but it's extremely fun. And every day in Discord, the boys are looking for some lines that feel a little bit soft. Yesterday, I talked about DeJounte Murray. My projection had him mid-40s. The projection they had on the site was just 38. And I was like, man, no Jakob Poeltl. DeJounte's been a peripheral beast. I'll take the over. And he hit the over pretty easily. And then, like Nakrizi said in chat, man, they were on Mo Bamba rebounds. They're on a bunch of stuff. So one of the things we tend to do in the Discord, not only while talk strategy, just hanging out, relaxing, all cool, we do hunt props. And PrizePicks.com is kind of the way a lot of us can universally sweat some cards together. So I definitely encourage you guys to check it out, especially if you're a FanDuel player. Download the app, and when you sign up, use code GUNDACKER. It'll show me some love, and then in turn it'll show you some love. You'll get double your first deposit up to $100. So if you did want to throw the 100, it'll turn into $200 of playable money. If you just want to throw like a $20 bill at it, $40, test it out, you can do that as well. They offer promotion stuff like that. We'll take a peek at tonight's board. Looks a little something like this. So when it comes to points only, Cade Cunningham is at 10.5, and I feel like that could get me in some trouble because of the shot volume that he did take, and you might expect him to keep taking. But what I'll be more inclined to do is go to the fantasy score tab, and I have a tab in the RunDFS.com NBA VIP spreadsheet, the player props tab, and I actually have the PP fantasy points tab, and this is the fantasy point projection that is in line with the scoring for PrizePicks, which is the exact same, the NBA official scoring and the Fanduel scoring. And usually I can find some stark differences that I like. So maybe let's talk about Bam Adebayo. I got him at 46.8. Do we have a line that we can get behind on Adebayo? They have at 40. So they got him at 40, and I got him at 46. So there's a little bit of a leeway there, 6 fantasy points. And then anyone else that maybe we can get behind, they got Westbrook at 50. I'm sure my numbers maybe like Westbrook a little bit more. I got him at 57, so maybe I would get behind those two. My only pushback with Adebayo is keeping that game close or not. I think it does stay close, but the Miami Heat have just been so good, so good. So check that out. Show me some love. They'll show you some love. Let me double check Discord here. And doesn't matter. It's kind of my first look right now. I'll tell you what. Let me Q, let's get you on another stream then, on your first look, and then let's really we need to do like pre-show testing for your video and audio anyway. And I want to get your like full thoughts on a slate since we're already 3 games deep, just 2 left. So hit me up with some dates that maybe you can reschedule. Are you always a little busy at this time? Just let me know. Dadrian Morgan says Maxey or Curry. I'm kind of leaning Curry right now. Thoughts on Clarkson if Mitchell's out? Yeah, so if Donovan Mitchell did miss, yeah, Mike Conley and Jordan Clarkson would open up. Let me get the skinny on that because I didn't have that as like a huge priority of something to watch. I did see the Q tag. Utah. The 2 Utes. Yeah, I guess he is officially questionable. Maybe Jared Butler gets some extra run. Right ankle sprain, questionable. He tweaked his right ankle during the second quarter of Tuesday's game. And while he was able to play through it, it seems like there's a chance he could miss Thursday's game. We'll have a better idea after shoot around. So, yeah, something to watch. Good catch, chat. Davis rebounds and Curry fantasy scores look a little soft on PP. Seth Curry, fantasy points. I can get behind that. I kind of like him for 30 plus. It is DK, but I don't think it's going to be that different. A 26.5. Yeah, I'd probably dabble with that, especially considering that Embiid is out. Maybe we can do an advanced on-off court query via the wonderful tool at Add More Funds, the NBA Wowie tool. We'll go to Philadelphia. If you guys want to add this tool to your daily process, exclamation point AMF in chat. I need to add the link in the description, but check them out. They have some pretty cool free resources to get some advanced knowledge on a couple situations. Now, I can't imagine that there's any reliable amount of sample size of the Sixers in the last 2 years without Toby, Embiid, and Ben Simmons. I know there's been a couple of games where all heck broke loose, and we did get a bunch of those guys out. And maybe Dwight Howard to Andre Drummond's a little bit different in terms of usage. But I guess just as an exercise to kind of show you how this works, I have a pre-made custom filter that I like to look at when I start making some of these queries. And I'm going to take off Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, and Tobias Harris. I'm not going to take off Danny Green because then I know I'm not getting any type of referenceable information. But when I do it like this, I get over 600 minutes of sample size. And yeah, one of the names is Dwight Howard. Shake Milton over fantasy point per minute. Maxey over fantasy point per minute. Dwight Howard 1.3. Furkan Korkmaz is a fantasy point per minute. So Yeah, I think if you change Howard to Andre Drummond, it'll be the same, but probably more for Drummond. Drummond does a little bit more talented offensively than Dwight Howard, and then of course he'll add some steals to the blocks as well. So not super reliable, but it does kind of push us towards maybe being a little bit more receptive in Milton bouncing back in big field tournaments. But I do like Maxey all the same. But Korkmaz, yeah, I think the Sixers are just extremely stackable. Gorgeous Nang from the 76ers. Yes, I like him. What's up, JC's Man Cave? Rate the lineup: Westbrook, Lowry, SGA, Baisley, Tyler Hero, AD, Niang, and Drummond on Fanduel. I don't see anything that I disagree with there. Hero being small forward eligible is extremely interesting for multiplayer eligibility and how you can get a little bit more creative with your lineups for a high usage guy like Hero, right? We're at 77 likes, so 23 more likes, and we'll do another week pass giveaway at rundfs.com. This one's sponsored by Fish Fans, so get those likes up and make sure you're subscribed. If you're not subscribed, you won't be eligible for the giveaway. I did see that only 30% of you guys, the regular viewers, aren't subscribed, which is actually pretty good versus some of the other channels that I watch. A lot of it's like 50-50, 60-40. So I'm happy about that. Let's talk about the next game here. Houston Rockets at the Phoenix Suns. We got a projected starting five for the Rockets: Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green, Jayshawn Tate, Daniel Tice, Christian Wood. Tice actually got ruled out, so we'll have to amend that. I think Sagoon would be the immediate benefactor for that. Up against Chris Paul, Devin Booker, McCall Bridges, Jay Crowder, and DeAndre Ayton. A 218.5 total, 10.5 point spread in favor of the Phoenix Suns. The Suns give us some interesting price points on DK where I could see not a ton of people getting there. I do want to at least highlight that DeAndre Ayton is questionable. He did miss the last game for them. If he does not play, you might see Frank the Tank Kaminsky rise in potential value, potential ownership. Obviously, a center spot's going to be reserved in my lineups for Drummond, but Kaminsky might be forward eligible. He is forward eligible, so you get extra value if Ayton opened up. He's dealing with a right leg contusion, and he was limited in Wednesday's practice. He hurt his leg on Sunday. He sat out Tuesday, and with him not doing much on Wednesday, it would seem there's a chance he could skip this game, especially if you're a coach and it's a 10-point spread. I could see the need for Ayton to be a lot lower than you usually might expect. So yeah, you might get some Suns without Ayton tonight. You might get some extra usage elsewhere. You might get Javale McGee. You might get Frank Kaminsky. Let's talk about the Rockets side. Rockets went 12 rounds with the Lakers the other night. Kevin Porter Jr., Jayshawn Tate, Christian Wood. I mean, this is one of the I think this is the youngest lineup in all of basketball. So they got youth, they've got big gas tanks, and they've got a little bit of firepower. And, I think a young team is going to have rocky nights, and they're going to have nights where they put up fights against teams that you probably don't expect them to fight against. Collectively, they come in pretty cheap. Fanduel, Christian Wood 7,900, on DK 8,800, so a little bit of a gap there. But overall, man, a lot of minutes implied for these guys. And then we just talked about Daniel Tice being out. Sengun adds to the potential value mix here. 41 on DK, 51 on Fanduel. I definitely could see myself rotating, spraying and praying these guys in. I actually did really well in that Lakers-Rockets showdown. So a little bit of a short-term bias leaning towards getting to Rockets, I don't say aggressively, but somewhat confidently. And then on the Sun side, Devin Booker, 8,200 on FanDuel, 87 on DraftKings. That could become no man's land if a lot of people go straight to like the Westbrooks of the world. And maybe even the Jimmy Butlers, and then they're taking the medium value elsewhere. Definitely has 40-plus fantasy point potential in this spot. Same with Chris Paul. Is 40 going to be enough to satisfy you at that price point on this slate? I don't think I would overrate value per se today, because I think the value we're getting from the Sixers and the overvalue we're getting from Drummond. I think it's going to be some wonky lineups that end up gravitating toward the top. Not really, at lock, everyone's the same price. Just go get me those points. I think that could be the situation here. So where I usually wouldn't be excited about 40 plus from Paul and Devin Booker, I might just take the 40 plus. Today, Jay Crowder, if Ayton is out, Crowder's shown a propensity to be close to a point per minute, have a shot at 30 plus fantasy points. The Fanduel price point feels a little bit more welcoming. Shady, earlier you mentioned Christian Wood is one of the centers you might be on today. Versus Adebayo, if Drummond's speaking for one spot, knowing that Daniel Tice is out, how much Christian Wood are you expecting to get to?
I would definitely get into probably the 30 percentile. Right now I see is around, let's see. He's around 5% right now projected from what I see. So like if I put in like 20 to 25% of them in some of the lineups, I'd be comfortable with that being 4 to 5 times the field.
Fish fan said Frank was questionable. So did that just come out? Because I'm looking at a depth chart right now. I'm not seeing a Q tag next to his name.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Yeah, I don't see that either. But I don't discredit it because it could have changed while I've been live. Let me see if DK has it. They don't have it either. And again, they have Gobert out, so who effing knows? But I don't see anything to kind of corroborate that, Fish. So I'm not calling you a liar, but I'm not calling you a truther. You know what I'm saying? Eric Gordon smash game incoming for K Johnson. All right. Plan B smoothies. Woo! What a name. Woo! Okay. Is Bam starting tonight? Projected starters just Deadman. So I did see that if you're looking at RotoWire, yeah, in no way, in no realm, if Bam was active, would Deadman start over Bam Adebayo. I think that could be just a lingering start thing. It's an error from the pool source. If Adebayo was out, then yeah, Deadman would start. But I have nothing to say that Adebayo's out. So I'm assuming Adebayo's the full-on starter, bro. More she's than just his name. I didn't see his first one. Anyone? Well, I don't know. I shout out to Plan B smoothies though. Anyway, where are we at on? Oh, I can't. Where are we at on likes here? We are at 86 likes, 87. All right, so 13 more likes, 150 of the realest OGs on all the YouTube watching out there. Hit that thumbs up.
Money.
Yeah, it's a free week pass when we get to 100. That'll be a lot of fun. You saw it earlier, maybe just. Yeah, I don't see it now. But a lot of times some of these when I update the spreadsheet at night, there's a whole lot of Q tags going through every team. So a lot of times lately, I've just been waiting until an hour or two before stream to kind of get everything ironed out. I didn't see anything on that, but we'll keep an eye on it.
Everybody this morning thought Rudy Gobert was out, and there was no indication at all of him getting injured.
Yeah. So. Well, it's because DraftKings literally has this fat out tag next to him. So yeah, have multiple sources for NBA news, because yesterday, not only now this is not Gobert, but if you scroll down, they literally had literature from yesterday that said Gobert had been ruled out for Thursday's game. That wasn't the case. It was Rudy Gay. So I don't know. Somebody saw Rudy G and was just like, "Oh, Gobert." I don't know, but yeah, there was a group of players today, and there might be people still out there that are afraid to click his name with an out tag. News is fickle out there,
And these guys get paid for this.
They do. Not a lot of people growing up wanting to be NBA team beat writers, bro. I don't know. We got one game left on the docket. Take a pause. Guys, NBA, rundfs.com VIP Discord. That's where it's at. Where else can you find these these young memes, like the PJ Tuckin. It's okay. We have PJ Tuckin now. He is a LeBron stopper. Please stop. One of the greatest memes in all of basketball. Hey, before lock for 2 hours every day, we're in this NBA voice chat. You guys can hang out with me and my homies, talking some plays, having some barbershop debates, hunting those props, and then of course, if you had questions for me, firing them off in the chat, or even just turning your mic on and talking it up. Yeah, sometimes there's too many people talking. You don't want to get in there, and it's hard. People talk over each other. You can just tag me in the chat. I'll try to answer it. And then a lot of times that bleeds over into the actual slate, especially if my girl's on Twitch. I got nothing to do. So I just sit there and make my late swap, stuff like that. So if you guys are looking to evolve as a DFS player or a sports bettor, I definitely have said time and time again, you got to get into a community of like-minded people, because there's a lot of news, some of it real, some of it fake, that you got to react to, you got to digest, and you got to be able to keep your head on the swivel. And hey, we all got families, we all got obligations and responsibilities, and we can't always be on Twitter. But when something drops, somebody has the Discord open, and we'll hit that everyone tag and keep you guys on your toes. So get into a community. If it ain't mine, get into a community that you have scouted, vetted, and trusted. But if you want to join mine, you can go to rundfs.com. Check out the VIP memberships. We have everything from week passes to even the year pass for next year is already up, and that'll include the rest of this year. And it's not just NBA. We got NFL tonight and this weekend. And then, of course, pretty good at the baseball thing, if I can toot my own horn. So if we get to 100 likes, we'll give away a free week pass. We've given away a free week pass the last 2 streams as well. Are we close? I feel like we got to be close. 88. So 12 more of those thumbs up, and we'll do that. And then, of course, if you're out there, the only way to get into the raffle is to be a subscriber and to type in chat here in a minute. So let's jump into the main event here. Hopefully, while we're talking about this Lakers game, we will hit our like goal. The Oklahoma City Thunder at the LA Lakers. Project starting 5 for the Thunder: Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Lou Dort, Josh Giddey, Darius Bazley, and Derek Favors. Up against Russell Westbrook, Avery Bradley, Kent Bazemore, Carmelo Anthony, and Anthony Davis. I do think that Lakers lineup could be different. I think one of the reasons why DeAndre Jordan's been off the bench is because Dwight Howard's out. Maybe they were just looking that way for depth with LeBron in. So I do think there's still a world where maybe AD goes to the 4 here, DeAndre Jordan gets back in that starting lineup, and then Dwight Howard's available off the bench, and then Melo's off the bench, stuff like that. So be on your toes about that. But generally speaking, we have ourselves a 214 total. It was 10.5 point spread. I'll double check the live Vegas odds while I got you guys here, just in case there's been movement since LeBron's been ruled out. But I put this in here after the LeBron news. Yeah, still 10.5 point spread. Without LeBron James, we know we can put a lot of concentrated usage to Russell Westbrook, to Anthony Davis. On FanDuel, Westbrook comes in at $9,200. I'm clicking that. I'm full sending it. Let's ride.
Jesus.
That's cheap. On DK, 10.7. You start thinking about what you want. Now, I said it earlier. These smaller slates, I'm way less into the politics of I need 5, 6, 7x, blah, 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 blah. If Russell Westbrook gets over 50 fantasy points on a 5-game slate, he's probably going to be competitive. If he gets you over 60, that dog's going to hunt no matter what the price is. So Westbrook, I think, is definitely going to be the apple of my eye. A little bit of revenge game, and we mentioned now we got bad blood. Now we got problems. Some Taylor Swift in your life. With the end of that last OKC game where Darius Bazley hit that garbage dunk, and it definitely rubbed Brody the wrong way here. So I've got Westbrook at over 50 fantasy points on DK, 53 to be exact. That's going to be a play that I like. I'm going to go to the NBA Wowie tool via add more funds. We're going to check out the Lakers here and see if we can't put some numbers, quantify some usage rates with Westbrook, with AD, and without LeBron. We don't have a ton of sample size on the season. We did get a couple games without LeBron, the San Antonio game, the OKC game. So we'll have some numbers and some minutes to go off of, but essentially you don't need this to kind of to push you towards Westbrook. So let's put Westbrook in, let's put AD in, and let's take LeBron off. And if you missed the LeBron news, it's not just tonight. Sounds like LeBron will miss at least 1 week. And man, I remember last year those soft projections on time that LeBron missed just get longer and longer and longer. So we'll see if the sites start correcting and maybe overcorrecting the price points on Westy and AD. Westbrook, 100 minutes of sample size with AD on the court without LeBron, averages 1.45 DKP per minute, 1.4 on Fanduel, and AD almost at 2 fantasy point per minute. If you're playing cash games, you probably just get those two in your lineup. You're going to go get Andre Drummond if Joel Embiid ends up out, and that should be how your lineups come preloaded, in my opinion, especially on FanDuel. And then you would work your way around probably some of the value on the Sixers and go from there. I've got no immediate pushback other than to be contrarian on these two guys, even at their DK price points, at least for Westbrook at 10.7. I just think I'll take raw points on this slate because there's plenty of value. Running it back here. So the Lakers are a team that I think are going to continuously be, I don't want to say overvalued, but 10-point spread is very, very big for a team like the Lakers that with LeBron went 12 rounds, like I said, with the Houston Rockets. The caveat here is the Thunder are one of the worst offenses in all of basketball, the second worst offensive rating in all of basketball. But defensively, I don't think the Lakers are that great. Lakers come in with a average defensive rating on the season, and without LeBron, we saw the Spurs take him to extra innings, and then the next night that curtain call with the Lakers with the Thunder smacking them. So that 10-point spread might be a little bit of Vegas is trying to get people to lean one way. I think I can if SGA is on and Josh Giddey's doing his thing and Darius Bazley's bringing his offensive prowess per se. I think that this game could be competitive, should be competitive, and it was competitive last time out. So I can run this game back somewhat confidently, at least in tournaments, with SGA, 7,600 on FanDuel. The usage, the minutes, and the responsibility for him in this lineup is just too high at that price point to not get to him. 45 fantasy points, what my soft FanDuel projections brought back. I'll take that all day long, all day strong at 7,600. Josh Giddey's coming into his own here. Perhaps underpriced on both sides, 6K on FanDuel, 5,800 on DK. I'm looking for the north side of 30 and a normal range of outcomes. Last two games, 38. There's been a 27 and there's another 38. So the floor to ceiling has been all right, where the floor is something you're not excited about, but it doesn't tank you. And then knowing the ceiling can get into the high 30s and maybe, beyond. We saw 47 against Philly. I think he becomes a pretty good play for me and a play I'll get to probably at a tier 2 levels of exposure. And then on the Lakers side, I guess it gets a little murky past Westbrook and AD. I did get to Carmelo against San Antonio. Ironically, the literal worst game of his on the season. You can see him bounce back here. Has been pretty efficient for them, perhaps overly efficient for them from behind the arc. You can make cases for Malik Monk and some of those supplementary plays. The other thing I would say to remember is when LeBron James was out against San Antonio, Frank Vogel said that the backup point guard when Westbrook would not be on the court is Rajon Rondo. And he's $100 above min price on DraftKings. So I would never get to this in maybe 20 lineups or less, but 100K to first contest where I got to be a little extra cute on a 5-game slate. Maybe Rondo's a guy I can get to and hope for one of those big Rondo performances where at 3,100, maybe he drops, a 25-30 fantasy point game with heavy assists and maybe even get one of those sneaky double-doubles, maybe a peripheral first kind of performance out of him. But there is a lot of mouths to feed in their guard rotation, so that's what I'm saying. It's purely a big field play for me, not really a short entry play. Shady, do you start your short entry lineups with Westbrook at 10.7, or do you think there's enough pushback at that price? It does feel like 45 DK, if he only got like 45 and got stuck in the torture chamber, um, at his ownership, like I would be okay with going the other way. But the path to failure for me is either double technical with Darius Baisley ejected, or just a stunning range of outcomes where he just didn't thrive. I'm not gonna say it's an all or nothing spot for me, but I would assume that the field ownership gets to a high point. What do you think you're gonna end up doing with Westbrook on DK?
Well, so I I'll just tell you, I will be comfortable if he has the same fantasy point game as what he did against OKC in the last game.
Mm-hmm.
All this other jazz and stuff like that about him possibly getting into a fight, or I just don't worry about that stuff. But I get why that could be an issue. But another thing that I also want to consider as well, if I'm going to play Westy and AD in this game, like I almost have to really hope that this is going to be a close game, and I'm just going to bring it back with guys like Baisley. I'm going to bring it back with guys like Giddy. I'm going to bring it back um
SGA.
uh with the SGA and just run it like that. And I might even go as far as playing some Derek Favors in my utility spot to uh as some little salary savings. I mean, he played 25 minutes in the last game. I think they are going to need some type. They're I believe that they just want to try to play as slow as possible. I know that they had to come back in the last game. I mean, they were down like 20 in the last game. So when they came in with their second possession or second set, with their starters, that's when they started actually coming back. And for some reason, like AD in the game before that, I think that's when he came up with that knee injury, and he was questionable all day going into that game, and he ended up playing, but I don't think he played to his potential in that game. I mean, he did put up 30 points, but he had to at the end there. But I think he was feeling rough. So um I mean, short answer, like yes, I'm going to play some Westbrook. I'm going to play some Anthony Davis. How much? It's all going to be dependent on how much exposure I'm going to get to the other pieces in this game.
Yeah, and to touch on the Josh Giddey play, watch the status of Lou Dort. Lou Dort's dealing with a shoulder injury. He's questionable officially. If he can't go, I do think I could feel a little bit safer about Giddey's minutes. We've seen him play as little as 27 minutes, and then we've seen him bleed into the 30 plus. I do think there's a range where Dort plays and Giddey still gets his, but it becomes a little bit safer in my estimation, a little bit more responsibility for him. But looking at chat reactions to some of these statements, yeah, a lot of you guys are on the run backs here, and I think SGA makes the most sense as your potential and your probable guy that's going to sink or swim the Thunder, and that's been kind of my approach all year. I don't necessarily need SGA to play Westbrook or AD, but I feel like I need Westbrook or AD to play SGA. I've said that before on like the Steph Curry game or and circumstances like that, and I kind of feel the same way today. Let's looking at the let's go to this year only. So we'll go to October 19th. That's when the season started, and just kind of look at how numbers are starting to shake out for the Thunder. Still a short sample size and a lot of moving variables for team to team. A couple games where a guy's been in and out, but I think SGA is undoubtedly going to be their team leader in everything, especially usage. On the season, a 27.5% overall usage, averaging over a fantasy point per minute. With a 20.5% assist rate. So, yeah, SGA is going to be that guy for me that correlates the best for that game to get ceiling return on at least a Westbrook or AD. But I could see myself having at least a Westbrook or at least an AD in lineups that I'm playing SGA, because I'm playing SGA with high expectations if I do play him. Josh Giddey also over a fantasy point per minute. Usage rate dips under 20, but that's the power of the peripheral. And then Darius Bazley over 20%. So those will be the three guys I get to first. If Lou Dort is out, is SGA, Giddey, and Bazley. I don't really have a big hankering for playing Lou Dort as it is. Not a big per minute fantasy guy. I know a lot of people have this misconception about him historically. He had some big games when it was just he and Theo Maledon carrying the team, but not guys that I'm likely to gravitate towards here today. Catching up on chat. Did we get the likes, man? We need another like or so to initiate the week pass giveaway at rundfs.com. If you do win the giveaway, be sure you stay in chat and type your Twitter, and then we'll reach out to you on Twitter, and then I'll need your email and you'll be set up good to go. Let me get caught up on some of these earlier ones that I missed. Chat, if you're out there watching, lurking, you got any questions, comments, concern, we got some time here. 3:30. I'll try and get you guys out of here within, I don't know, what do you say, 15 minutes or so. If you guys are not jumping in the Discord, I definitely highly recommend checking out the Osmo deeper dive into the live before lock. Tomorrow, if you're looking for me, you can find me in the streets. Okay, I was gonna make an Akon lyric, but I don't know.
Oh boy.
If you're looking for me, you can find me. Okay. Tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to talk a little bit of NFL stacks with Greg on the Osmo channel. So if you are ready to dip your toes in NFL research, then find out. We will still have a live stream here tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. But just wanted to let you guys know that you can find me over there tomorrow as well. And then Saturday morning, it'll be an Osmo morning NBA stream. But we will have a live stream here tomorrow, Friday. I've been thinking about doing Saturday specials for or Saturday only members only streams. So if you're a channel member here, I think if this channel can get to 10 members, I'll do some Saturday member only streams. I think we got like 5. So if you feel like that would be something that you're interested in, there's a join button below. Just doing a membership gets you the special the emote next to your name and stuff like that, and then the emojis in chat. But if we get to 10 and we hold 10 plus, I'll probably do Saturday only, members only stuff. That way it's a little bit of give back for people supporting the channel a little bit more. I'm assuming we're at 100 likes by now, right? We have to be.
Yeah, I see 103.
All right, cool. So what I'm gonna do, chat, is I'm gonna activate the cloud bot here. You guys start prepping those questions for maybe some thoughts on strategy on the slate. If you have hot takes or something that maybe I skimmed over or didn't appreciate, throw them at me, and we'll cap off the stream talking about those while I get this giveaway set up, and then hopefully one of you guys, hopefully a new one, but if you are a current subscriber at rundfs.com, you can still play along. We'll just stack it on to what you got. And we'll do one rundfs.com week pass giveaway. Just so I can show you guys on stream. You'll see the process, right? Timer enabled. We'll make it a 5-minute, 5 minutes for you guys to get in. Uh-oh. Okay, it's getting lower. What the freak? I'm scared. All right, we'll make it a 5-minute entry. Everyone's eligible. Advanced, I think we're good. Subscriber bonus, well, you have to be subscribed to enter. Non-subscriber bonus, negative. You don't get to play. We'll save it. And then I believe it's this one. We'll start the giveaway. And now you guys got 5 minutes to type !raffle. And while we'll do that, we'll knock out some other questions, comments, concerns. I guess it's going to be kind of chaos because I got to read between the nonsense to answer it, but I think we're good. Patrick Reed says, what if this game blows out? Do you think it gets more? What if this game blows out? Who do you think gets more workload for the Lakers game? Man, it's hard to I guess it could blow out. Every game could blow out. But I don't know that the Thunder completely have a rotation to throw in the towel and not just put the regular guys out there. I guess you would ice up guys like Derek Favors and some of the elder statesmen here. But on the Lakers side, maybe Malik Monk, Austin Reeves. Um, those would be guys I would think could sweep up some garbage time. Yeah. Hey, hey, hey. Now we're getting the subs too. What up, Kobe King 23? Appreciate that sub. By the way, we're trying to get to 6,000 subs by January 1. Yesterday, holy cow, you guys brought the fire. Almost 20 new subscribers from start to finish yesterday. So if we start getting numbers like that, then we might hit our goal. But mathematically, I think I need like 64 subs a week over the course of the next 8 weeks to hit the goal. So one of the ways I'm trying to shake up the algorithm and start reaching those goals is doing giveaways like this, and then incentivizing you guys to maybe tell a friend to tell a friend and tell a friend to tell some more. What else we got in chat? Gun, do you think 4 Sixers is too much to take down the slate? Probably to take down the slate, but I think 4 Sixers would help you in cash games. Thinking, so 4 Sixers that I could play if I had to justify: Drummond the lock, Seth Curry is 1B, probably 2A, and then Niang I think would be solid, more so on FanDuel. Then I guess you could spin the wheel, make a deal on Maxey, Milton. So I'd be confident in 3 to still have a coexistent ceiling to take down the slate. I don't think it's impossible for 4, but I'd be more so confident in 3. But I'm tempted to unlock up to 4 in my opto, and maybe I have to set some rules. Like maybe I don't want Maxey and Milton in the same lineup. You know what I'm saying? Like yesterday, I set a rule to not have Drew Eubanks and Thaddeus Young in the same lineup because I didn't know that their ceilings would mesh in tournaments, and Thad Young was the better play. So it's thoughts like that. So is Niang the best value at 3,700 on FanDuel, or is there a better guy, do you think? So I haven't adjusted projections after the Daniel Tice news, but if I go sort my projections in the RunDFS.com NBA VIP spreadsheet, and I sort it from best value to lowest value on FanDuel, I would assume Yang's up there, but I'm gonna do it just so you see. Cade Cunningham is up there, and then right behind him is Gorgeous Niang. At 7
You got a hell of a production on Cade after all of this stuff that's been happening these last couple of slates.
The algorithm.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I get it. Like it's all projection, so there's nothing.
Algorithm likes what the algorithm likes.
Exactly.
Exactly. So yesterday or the last game, I don't know, Cunningham, Zach LaVine. I guess Zach LaVine, CJ McCollum, Evan Fournier. I don't know. There's some high. I don't know. The algorithm. I put a percentage on the algorithm, so like it's projected possessions, and then you split out the usage, and then who scores, blah blah blah, based on the Vegas total. And long story short, it came back aggressive on Cade Cunningham.
You sure that was based off of Zach LaVine or DDR's fake ass game?
Yeah, I don't know about that. But I will personally have more Gorgeous Niang on FanDuel than Cade Cunningham. So sometimes I do, honestly, all the time I push back on my projections, on most projections too, because I'm hand carving player pools and setting ownerships and tiering them. And if you guys are subscribed to the RunDFS.com VIP, my tiers look something like this, right? So tier 1s, 2s, 3s, core value, risky value. This is my entire player pool that I fire off into my personal play. You don't have to tail it. You don't have to copy it. You can just say, all right, he likes this guy. I don't like that guy, blah, 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 blah. So oftentimes, like you'll probably see Cade Cunningham listed as a risky play, even though the projection likes him. But you'll see Gorgeous Niang as a core value. So I do like Gorgeous Niang quite a bit as my favorite value play on FanDuel, especially without Embiid, right? Self says Gobert still a good play on FanDuel. So Self, full disclosure for me, for me in my house, we will play Andre Drummond. And if I'm locking in Andre Drummond, this is with the thought that midday Q Joel Embiid on a back-to-back doesn't play. I'm going to take that 40-plus min from Drummond, right? And I'm going to just ride with it. If I did that, I can't play Rudy Gobert. So, is he a good play? Just straight up Rudy Gobert, 40 plus, 8K, yes. but I can't tell you that I'm gonna have him on Fanduel because I'm gonna be all about some Andre the Giant Drummond. Get caught up. I will not enter as I will just be buying the year pass again. Shout out to Fish. Let me scroll up, get some more. There's a lot of raffles now that are interrupted. Appreciate Danny's enthusiasm. Yo, shout out to Danny, the active mod. Her and Dang Lazy Mofo.
Yeah. She's a real MVP.
Yeah. Yesterday I was spitting some fire and I spilled coffee on my keyboard, and I was just like, "Babe, if you're out there, give me that towel." She brought me the towel, man. She's the backbone, man. Shout out to her. And then yeah, she was like my producer to get Shady set up while I had to go live. What else? I just made Twitter 2 days ago. Welcome to Twitter. Anything else in chat? Trying to scroll through the raffles. More raffles. Make Gun give you the 20. Travis says, on the breakout scale, who's better, Tyler Hero or Miles Bridges? I think Bridges. I guess Tyler Hero had a lackluster year last year in terms of what the expectation was and the hype. I think Bridges right now is just nuts. I also past Bridges and Tyler Hero, I think Jalen Brunson saying, "Hey guys, I'm here, game to game." Who else? I feel like there's one more I'm missing. Bridges, Hero. Oh, John Morant's also looking like a most improved candidate, right? Tice, baby. Yeah, watch the Daniel Tice news. Jesus H. Korkmaz questionable. Who picks up his slack? So that would be one higher for me on Seth Curry. Maybe they start elongating on Shake Milton's minutes, but I think Tyrese Maxey, Seth Curry would be the two main beneficiaries, and then you probably see Gorgeous Niang just get more minutes. Matisse Thybulle and Niang are guys that like I don't expect a lot of real points from, but if they play a lot of minutes, you'll get some peripherals, especially a guy like Thybulle. He's a defensive first kind of guy, so on FanDuel maybe a little bit more viable, a little more valuable if he's going to rack up steals and blocks, you know. Is that it? Is the countdown over? It's the final. We got 1 minute, chat. If you're out there, 1 minute to type !raffle. We'll give away the week pass, and we will have some fun, and you guys can get in there. Danny's the favorite in the Discord. Man, she's taking over. I need me a woman like the one Gun has. DFS Bonnie and Clyde. Yes, sir. Brunson and TJ McConnell, best backup point guards in the league. Yeah. I think Brunson's working his way into the starting lineup, especially with Porzingis been down. He's absolutely been a firecracker for them. That's honorable mention, yeah. Shady. I guess I could say I will get with you in like 20 minutes, right? Appreciate your help as always.
Oh, yeah. Man. Hey, thanks for allowing me to do this. I figured I'm not a content creator. I'm just a casual guy that's just over here just playing DFS, man. And I just figure I had a change in the schedule this week and decided I was like, you know what, maybe Gunn needs another voice on a stream just to kind of get over the monotony.
Yeah, no, I like it. I definitely like that in the past week we've had so many different faces and perspectives on DFS. And then, maybe next week we get some more Chronic. Raj, of course, will be back tomorrow. Quinn, I did talk to Quinn. My boy Quinn, who was going to be on today. He had to get his kids home from school. But we didn't do testing, right? I didn't want to bring him on with the potential of technical difficulties. And he said, thanks, man. It probably would have been awkward to explain these pink headsets of my daughters anyway. So maybe Quinn's going to go out there and get himself a more neutral colored headset. But I'm excited.
$27.
Yeah, cheapies, man. Like this one right here. I had the whole elbow with the Yeti and all that. And like this is, I don't know. I move a lot when I talk. But yeah, Shade, I'll give you in the Discord in just a little bit. Appreciate your time. All right,
bro.
Yep. Chat. Goodbye, Shady. Shout out to Shady. Bye. All right, chat. We've got our timer done. You guys are all full up in here. We'll do the raffle, and then I'll do a couple more questions, and we will get out of here. The ticket system is busted. You think so? You guys want another minute? You guys want another minute? I can give you another minute. I think it's still open. Raffle. Oh no, maybe it is. Giveaways. It doesn't say the entry. I'll close and reopen it. How about that? Close. I'll refresh it. Maybe it'll let me open it. I'll reopen it for a couple of you stragglers while I get to some questions. Thoughts on Cameron Johnson for Phoenix? I don't see myself making him a priority. I'll look at that minute rotation in just a second to see if there's some reason why we'd be there other than potential blowouts. But I feel like this slate's going to give us plenty of guard value today to not have to get to like a Cameron Johnson or anything like that. Let's resume entries real quick, guys. If you're out there, just a minute. Exclamation point. Was it raffle? Exclamation point raffle in the chat. Boom. I have my own headphones, but I haven't used them in forever. I need to dust them off after I find them. Yeah, Quinn, get with me. It doesn't have to be before a stream, even if it's later today. Obviously after lock sometime. And we'll test it out, right? What up, Kayan Amawale? I love that name. Is it? Yeah, there you go. It's getting you guys in now. So we'll sit back and vibe for just a second. Let me scroll up, see if I'm missing anything. It's free smoothies. Let's go. Hey, if you're on Twitter, twitter.com/Gundacker, hit me up, man. DMs are open. I'm always, not always. If it's right before lock, I probably can't respond, but if you tweet at me, I'll do my best to interact with you guys and answer some questions if I can. All right, you guys good? We good? We thumbs up? You guys vibing? Raffle. I think some of you guys that type raffle are already in it. I'll show you guys, full disclosure, who's in it, right? These are some random guy is in it. I don't know. Kickstart, BP, Alex, yeah, 27. It's adding. 115 likes, though, man. That's huge. We did 120 plus yesterday. And if you're out there and you're not subscribed to the channel, please help me make a goal, reach a goal. It's all about setting goals and reaching them and grinding towards them. And if this is your first time on the channel, tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, we'll be back at it. While you guys get in that a little bit more, what is on the docket for tomorrow? Smart going for 45. Let's go. Bold takes in the chat. Tomorrow we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 games. Spurs, Magic, Nets, Pistons. So Pistons night one of a back-to-back tonight. Grizzlies, Wizards, Cavs, Raptors, Knicks and Bucks, Clippers, T-Wolves, Pelicans and the Warriors. Hornets and the Kings. That'll be so much fun. Holy. And then the Pacers at the Trailblazers. 6 to 9. 3 hours from first game to last game. Nice. You can't reach the goal, reach around. All right, we're going to shut it down. We got, looks like 28, right? Let's close entries and let's do it. Pick a winner, Streamlabs. ABG, do me a favor, write in the chat with your Twitter account, and then I'll reach out to you on Twitter, and then we'll get you set up for a complimentary week pass. Shout out to FishFran for sponsoring. If you guys are out there, you want to sponsor week passes, anything like that, we'll keep doing them, man. You guys are the best for making this happen. W Midnight, Brenna O'Neill, Kobe King 23, Plan B Smoothies. Shout out to all you guys for these recent subs. That's love. I appreciate it more than you know. ABG, type your Twitter. Guys, anything else in chat, right? Anything? If not, I'll get you guys cut loose. 10 minutes, I'll be in the RunDFS.com VIP Discord talking about tonight's slate, and we will hopefully carve out a smart, sharp player pool to go win all of the money tonight, man. I hope you guys crush it. I hope you guys tweet me those screenshots, and you're back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern celebrating your big wins. All I ask is you save a little of that money for me, because I'm out here grinding too, man. Appreciate you making part of my day, be part of your day. I love you guys. Good luck. God bless, and go win some money.